Good morning to all of you. In this lecture, we will discuss about the productivity. Okay, so before defining productivity, we need to clarify two important terms like input and output. Input are any resources such as people, raw material, energy, information, or finance used in a system such as an economy or manufacturing plant to get a desired output. That is nothing but input. Okay, so resources are often financial, but things like time and expertise are also considered as an input. Okay, and what is output? Output are the good or services. Okay, energy or work produced by machine, factory, company, or an individual in a given period. Okay, so that is nothing but output. Now, uh, I try to explain in general sense. Productivity is some relationship between output and input. Okay, and it is quantitative relationship between what we produce and what we have to spend to produce. Okay, so concept of productivity has many sides. Like productivity is nothing but reduction in wastage of resources. Okay, like man, material, machine, time, space, money, or you can say capital, etc. So you can say productivity is nothing but the proper utilization, best utilization of resources, and it can be expressed as a human effort to produce more and more with less and less input of resources, so that there will be maximum distribution of benefit among maximum number of people. Okay, so in means we again try to explain like productivity denotes relationship between output and one or all associated input. Okay, and it is difficult to measure productivity of company or nation because various factors are related to end result. It is quite easy to define productivity as a ratio of output and input, but actually the measurement is a challenging task. Okay, because there all the thing is not quantitative. In input and output in service, many thing is the qualitative. So the measurement of the qualitative thing, that is a challenging task for industrial engineer. Okay, so it is not that much easy to total up product and services in terms of output. Okay, means it is not easy like that. You measure the output of product or services. It is not a easy task because there are many things is the qualitative relative qualitative. Okay, so that is unmeasurable. So that is the challenging task, how to measure that output. Similarly, when we think of input, we we come across a different factor like man, material, capital, machine, power, or you can say fuel, climate, land, tool, organization, etc. So output is obtained by combined input of number of factors such as man, material, capital, land, organization, machine, etc. The ratio of output and input of one of these factors is known as a productivity. Okay, or productivity of a fact of that particular factor. Okay, the most common unit input in means most you can define most common input is the man hour of working time, and productivity due to this factor is called labor productivity. Like that we can calculate the labor productivity. Sometimes we can calculate the means material productivity, capital productivity, that we will discuss in coming lecture in the numerical part. Okay, so I hope there means clear what is the productivity. So in next slide we will discuss the formula of productivity. Like here we means in very simply way represent what is the productivity. Productivity is nothing but the ratio of output and input as mentioned in this slide, And the definition, a standard definition of the productivity is like that: the productivity is the relationship between the output generated from a system and the input that are used to create those output. Okay, so I think that is understandable for everyone. Productivity is the relationship between output generated from a system and the input that are used to create those output. Okay, so as we discussed, there is the one system, simple system we discussed in earlier lecture, and there we define means your organization as a system. Okay, and there are some system like input, output, the transformation process, and their feedback loop also there. So the main purpose of the system is convert input into output. Okay, and the productivity is the it is try to define, or it is try to make try to define relationship between the output and input. Okay, so very simply, productivity is the ratio of output and input as mentioned in this slide. Okay, now how we can increase the productivity? As if we see this formula, then we can say when the same quantity of input result, same quantity of this input result, okay, uh, in that same quantity, if you getting more output, okay, the input is constant and your output is continuously increase, then your productivity will be increased. Okay, next thing is like that. Okay, your input is increase, output also increase, but rate of increment of output is more, then also your productivity will be increased. Okay, next your input is decreased and you get the same amount of output, then also your plant productivity will be increased. So these are the means, by use of this mathematical formula we can improve productivity. Okay, and now I think you people aware how to increase the productivity of organization. So as mentioned here, the system concept, there means in system, if we pass some inputs like land, people, capital, facilities, equipment, tool, energy, material, as mentioned in this slide, then okay, it is passed and that particular input transform into the output, that is nothing but the good and services, and that supply to the customer. So how to measure the productivity? Here you have as a slide, you can see the good and services, that is nothing but the output, and here is the input. The ratio between the input and output is nothing but productivity as mentioned here. So by system concept I try to explain what is the productivity. Okay, so their main challenging task is how to measure, if there are many things are qualitative thing. Okay, so how to measure output and input, that is the challenging task, and that we will discuss. Okay, next thing is like that, uh, why productivity is important. Okay, so productivity is we can say is a key, key to prosperity. Okay, it is a one type of key of prosperity. It shows the prosperity of your nation. Okay, so if we can say like all developed country have higher productivity. Okay, we know that, and rise in productivity result there means higher production, which has direct impact on the standard of living. Okay, so it reduce cost per unit and enable reduction in the sale price. It increase the wages of worker, increase the profit of organization. Higher demand create more employment opportunity. So the main reason, like in our country, poverty is low level. Okay, so poverty is low level of productivity. In United States, even sweeper and peon get higher wages than top executive in India. Even in Korea, wages are 3 times more than in India. Okay, so the main reason is that productivity in developed country is very high. Next thing, improvement in productivity is important for country like our, because it can be means country like our means our country India. and because it can minimize level of poverty and unemployment. Okay, so improvement in productivity is very important, and it can minimize the level of poverty and the unemployment. So we need to improve productivity. Like here I try to explain in this slide. If you see, this is the productivity. Due to the productivity, you can say the profit of your organization is increased. If profit of your organization increase, then more investment in your plant. More investment in your plant, it is nothing but the, suppose you purchase, your plant owner, uh, by this profit purchase one machine, okay, and for that one machine we need one another worker. So it increase the, it increase the it increase the employment. As well as, again, I try to discuss, if profit is more and the plant owner open, means another plant, then again their employment needed, machine needed. So it increase the productivity, it increase the demand of machine, demand of resources. So some other company also get profit. So it is nothing but the increase the per capita income of our means nation. And if per capita income is increased, nothing, it is nothing but the GDP increment. And it increase, GDP increase means standard of living increment. So productivity is very very important for any country. Okay, so productivity improvement means there productivity improvement means there, you can say, standard of living of that particular country will improve. Okay, so that is the main thing. So here again I try to competing on the productivity at the national level. Growing productivity lead to higher standard of living, as mentioned in the in a diagram, previous diagram. Okay, and it hold inflation in check. Okay, means we know that the means government continuously apply, every year apply the inflation, okay, on some stuffs. Okay, so due to the inflation the price is increase. Okay, okay, price is increased, that is okay. Now if your country productivity is increased, if productivity increase means, you can say the benefit of organization increase, and benefit of organization increase means the worker and operator and engineer salaries increase, the means employer salary increase. And if employer salary increase, okay, means he able to buy all those particular thing, because salary increase, inflation increase, means it is it means maintain, proper maintain type of the thing. Okay, so okay, then the inflation is nothing but the, you can say, that is the amount uh, which used to make some means infrastructure, some capital, some transportation facility improvement, that by that particular, by that particular amount. So it improve the standard of living. Okay, it is nothing but the improve the standard of living. So you can say the annual GDP is partially due to the growth in productivity and growth in inflation. Okay, so inflation is necessary. If you not apply the inflation, then the salary continuously increase. Okay, as the government salaries, government employee salary continuously increase as per the rule. Okay, then government need to apply inflation that continuously increase, and both the thing will be balanced. Okay, like 10 year ago the 100 rupees price, means 100 rupees value is more compared to today. And why that particular value is decreases? Because of inflation only. And it is needed to improve productivity, to improve the GDP of country. Okay, so that we will discuss in detail next. Okay, before the difference between the productivity and performance, uh, I want to first explain what is the difference between the production and productivity. Okay, so the term production and productivity look similar and confusing. Okay, but both the term are not similar. There are differences between these terms, like production is the conversion of input like raw material into finished product, okay, as a output. So with the help of mechanical or chemical or some processes, you convert input into the raw material, that is nothing but the production, okay. Thus, production is related to volume of commodity, irrespective of the quantity, quality of the resources used to achieve the level of output. Okay, so are you getting my point? It is production means, what is production means? It is basically means deal with the output, like conversion of input means raw material into the finished product, okay, with the help of some processes, and that particular volume, it shows the production, okay. Now how you means how it is means properly utilize the resources, and they are properly utilize all the resources that come into the productivity, okay. So but when production is joined by efficiency or effectivity, then it is related to productivity. So productivity measure how effectively input resources are utilized in conversion into output. Okay, so how effectively input resources are utilized in their conversion into output, that is come into the productivity. That is the come into the productivity. Okay, so what is the difference between the production and productivity? Now I think it is clear. Means means you can say like that, uh, okay, that is that we will discuss. Production, I try to again tell you, production is nothing but it is talking about the how much you produce a particular day. Like today I produced 200 product, and yesterday I produced 150 product. That is nothing but the production. Now if if you try to find out how much you input you applied for that particular production, and after that again 15 days again you asking same question, how much input you applied, and same input then same productivity, and if input is less after 15 days and output is as usual, okay, so then you can say the productivity is increased. Are you getting my point? Means productivity is nothing but or you can say it is deal with the output as well as input, but production only deal with the output, means how much we produce today, that is nothing but the production. But if we say how you utilize for that particular production or your resources, okay, your resources is properly utilized, and the measurement of efficiency effectiveness of that production, particular production, it's nothing but the productivity. Okay, so now we will discuss what is the difference between the productivity and performance. Okay, productivity and performance. So now the productivity, we know that that is the ratio of output and input, okay. Performance means consider output alone. It is the ratio of actual work done and expected work. Means like if you expect from one worker, like he will stitch 50 shirt today. Okay, that is the expected outcome. You expected he will stitch 50 shirt today, but actually he stitch only 40 shirts today. Okay, so what is the performance? It is nothing but the actual work, ratio of actual work and expected work. So actual work is the 40 divided by expected work. How much amount you expected, that is the 50. So 40 by 50 is nothing but the performance. In 200 then you will get performance in percentage. Okay, so I think now the difference between the production and performance is clear now, I think. Again I try to explain, like Performance means it is deal with the actual work, and it is the ratio of actual work and expected work. Okay, suppose you want to make you want one particular worker a drill in means that is a drilling operator. Okay, and he will make approx 50 drill today according to your expectation, but he did 40. Then what is the performance of that particular worker? The performance of that particular worker is 40 divided by 50 is equal to 4 by 5, and if you want in percentage then multiply by 100. So you will get performance. Like if I again discuss, like there one bike, Pulsar 220, and one is the Splendor. Then you always say like that the performance of Pulsar 220 is more than the Splendor, Hero Honda Splendor. Why? Because it give more power compared to Splendor Plus. There means output power is more compared to the Splendor Plus. Okay, the Pulsar 220 output power is more compared to Splendor Plus. So you can say means the performance of Pulsar 220 is more compared to the Splendor, Hero Honda Splendor. So their performance is high. Okay, so it is means it is deal with the output alone. It is deal with the performance, deal with the output alone, as mentioned in this slide. Okay, so here Pulsar 220 performance is more, we say, only considering the output. Okay, means it we know that the fuel consumption is more in Pulsar compared to the Splendor bike. Okay, so that is not considered in the performance measurement. Performance measurement consider output alone, and in productivity maybe the productivity will be more, or means it is will be more, so that we need to measure. Okay, so that we will discuss in coming lecture, but I think now it is clear what is the productivity and performance, and what is the difference between the productivity and performance. Okay, we know that productivity, and now what is the performance that we just discussed. Okay, next I try to explain efficiency versus productivity. Okay, so as mentioned, efficiency, it is ability to do something or produce something without wasting material, time or energy. But productivity, we know that it is the rate at which goods are produced or the work is completed. And efficiency, it is measure of waste in system. Productivity is measure of output produced by one unit of input. Okay, so efficiency depend on quality, and productivity depends on production. So now I try to explain what is the efficiency. If you produce 10 product, okay, in 10 product, okay, in your production you produce 10 product. In 10 product, suppose there 3 product are defective. Okay, so what is the efficiency of your process is nothing but means a good job or good product is 7 divided by total number of product, means 7 by 10 is equal to 0.7. So I hope it is understood to you. Okay, so I think the efficiency part is clear, and we already know what is the productivity. Means it is deal with the quality. Like you produce 7 product, in 7 there is means you produce 10 product, in 10 product there means 3 defective, means the good product is 7 divided by 10 means total number of product is nothing but the efficiency. Okay, means it deal with the quality. Efficiency always deal with the quality, and productivity, it's depend on production. Okay, how much production we get by particular input supply, by supplying the particular input, so that is come into the productivity. But if talking about the efficiency, we also measure the efficiency in diesel engine and many engine. So it say like that how we properly utilize and the quality of particular engine and properly utilization of fuel. So the efficiency deal with the quality, like you produce 10 product and in 10 product there are 3 defective, then your efficiency is 0.7, means 7 by 10. So that is the procedure of convert, means that is the procedure of find out the efficiency, and that the productivity we already know. Now, factor affecting productivity. There are many factors affecting the productivity, and that factors we categorize into two parts, like one factor which is the controllable or internal factor, and one factor which is uncontrollable or external factors. Okay, the like I try to discuss what is the controllable factor, means plant and equipment availability and reduction of the idle time. Okay, so the plant equipment, there we can control the productivity and we can control the output of that particular machine by proper utilization, by proper utilization of resources, by proper utilization of operators, means like that, means all the resources if properly utilized, then it is come into the, means it is a controllable factor, it's come into the controllable factor. Like we can easily means control the plant and equipments, and we can apply the technology, that is the controllable thing. Next is the work method, improvement in the way of doing thing. Okay, it means if we continuously improve, and that is by use of the controllable factors, like by proper utilization of resources. There are many resources like man, machine, and like that we discussed already. So by proper utilization, okay, how to use proper utilize by controlling the internal factor. Okay, and that internal factor is like that, plant and equipment, technology, and work method. Next, uncontrollable thing, there are many things in, means like natural resources, government infrastructure, some pandemic is type like covid coming. Okay, means recently. So that is the uncontrollable type of thing, and that also affecting the productivity, that affecting like anything, like we know that. And it is the uncontrollable thing. Okay, so there basically we can divide the affecting factor in two things, like controllable and uncontrollable. Controllable means we can control that particular factors, like plant and equipments, technology we can control, the work method, which work method we need to apply, how to, that we can control. Next, uncontrollable means we can't control those things, like natural hazards, or you can say natural thing which unable to control. Okay, next one is the criteria for measurement of productivity. Okay, so there are many criteria, like the measure should accurately reveal actual change in productivity. Okay, if you measure, okay, should accurately, if accurately you measure, then it's reveal actual change in productivity. Like today you measure what is the ratio of output and input, after 15 day you accurately measure again what is the output and input, and your ratio is increase, output by input ratio is increase, then you can say like that, okay, you can, means you can identify how much actually change happen in our plant, and you can see the continuous improvement by measuring the productivity. Okay, next, input and output must be considered in totality. Okay, so input and output must be considered in totality, that is the main thing. Next is productivity of all activity must be measured individually. Okay, so like that, there are some productivity like labor related productivity. Okay, there means output and labor input, you will get labor productivity. There material productivity, like output upon material input, like there means you can say the capital productivity, or energy productivity and other productivities. Okay, so productivity of all activity must be measured individually. Okay, so then only you can identify and it is useful and it makes some sense. Now, productivity data must be made available for managerial action. All the historical productivity data will be available, okay, in your plant and for managerial action, like on the basis of that productivity measurement. Means if your past measurement is like that 1.1, now after 15 days 1.2, then only you can think कि we can improve continuously, and the next productivity goal is 1.4. How? By means previous data. By use of the previous data, you can guess how much we can improve. That is the thing. So next, what is the objective of productivity measurement? Okay, so first thing is to compare an organization with its competitor. How you can compare? First, you need to find out the productivity of your plant, and on the basis of the productivity of plant, you can compare with your competitor. Okay, next one, to find out the relative performance of different employee unit and department. Okay, so to find out the relative performance of different employee, how you can judge means different employees on the basis of productivity. Means for you can calculate productivity of each employee, and on the basis of the productivity you can give incentive and all things. Next is the productivity you can measure for per unit to find out the relative performance of different employees and different unit, like which unit is better, quality unit is better, machining unit is better. Okay, like that you can compare. Okay, in means in your organization you can compare different unit on the basis of productivity. Okay, and you can compare department also, like one department is CNC department, one department is the injection molding department, one is the tool engineering department. So there are different department. How you can compare? By use of the productivity you can compare. Means productivity is nothing but output and divided by input, so that ratio is very useful for comparison. Okay, but it is also challenging task to measure all the thing. Okay, so that we will discuss in coming lectures, how to calculate and how to measure the productivity of plant. So in next lecture we will try to solve some numerical on the basis of the productivity, and there also we will discuss productivity models which is given by different scientists, that we will discuss. There are three models, and then we will discuss on the case study. Okay, so that will be the our next lecture. So thank you for listening my lecture, and thanks for coming in this lecture. Thank you.